What's going on, my friends? I hope all is well. Oh, through all this craziness we've got going on in our country right now, this has to stop. It has to stop now. It's horrible. I'm just trying not to think about it. But anyway, on a good note, we got the window installed today, and the air conditioning is running, and it's so cool. I got to work on the video for that and get all the parts done for that. But I'm going to show you the process we did for the install of the window today, and it went very well, what I have to say. Just some things you need to be careful of. You'll see in the video. Just be real careful when you drill those holes in that line, that you tape everything really well. And when the only thing we did not film was us lifting the window on the frame and into the van. When you get that adhesive on there, it's going to take two people to lift that window up and just make sure it's lined up very carefully and flush. It's going to cover that whole inside area. And just make sure it comes up and everything is level enough. Because once you start putting that window down and putting pressure, it starts setting. It's not coming off that van. So another important thing that you need to understand is simply this. This vehicle, when you put this window in, it's not like a windshield. It's going to need to sit for about 24 hours. So prepare to park it for 24 hours and it should not move. It really needs to sit. And, some people may disagree and say, no, it only needs to be 5 or 6 hours. Just leave it be. We drove it very slow back to my house. Clancy, my friend that helped me with this, you'll see in the video, held the window in and made sure it didn't move. And we just took the precautions, but overall, you got to keep this thing parked for 24 hours. So here I say that, and we drove the van, but we did it very slow. We didn't have to go far, so just down the street. So another important thing is you need to clean the surfaces with alcohol, the inside of the window where it's going to adhere, as well as the surface of the van, without rubbing alcohol really well. Just make sure everything is clean. Just so everything, no finger oils are getting on anything, because you're going to paint that primer around the window and make sure you don't get too far on the edge. And then when you put the caulk gun of that Sikaflex adhesive, just make sure you get a good thick bead in the center and just put some dots. You're going to see how we're going to do that on here, but it really was an easy process. And the biggest thing I can't stress in this is if you're going to cut this yourself, get a really good jigsaw. We had a really good DeWalt. I think it's like a 3331K was the model. I can't remember. I got it at Lowe's. It was about $120. It was a great jigsaw. Get a really good jigsaw. It'll make your life a lot easier. It made cutting this so much easier. It got a little tough when we got almost done getting the last parts because it was jumping. But if somebody's holding their hand on the other side, it won't jump as much. So this is a two-man job. And in fact, probably is a three-person job when you get to set the window in, because you want to make sure that everything in that window is inset and level and showing for the glass, because you've got that black part and then you've got the rounding of that glass that needs to be in that inset. Now, what I didn't tell you at the beginning of this video is this particular window installed is called the AMA slider. It's like a half slider. It's a brand is an AMA half slider. It's not the CR Lawrence windows that come out. I got my window from Van Windows Direct, and they're a great company to deal with. When you buy your window, you need to get the kit that has the adhesive. If it's a urethane adhesive window, you need to get the kit. You still need to get the molding that goes around the bare metal. You'll see in the video where we put that molding and everything is rolled on very well. What we did in there is we put silicone over that bare metal that we filed down and we cut. Make sure you put something over that bare metal, silicone, to keep it from rusting. When you put that silicone on the edges and you put down that trim in the inside, you'll see us do it. It's going to adhere to that. It's going to cover everything. So really do that. Don't not do that when you install this window, because you'll be able to tell on the inside. You don't want to see bare metal, but it's also going to help in sealing everything and make sure there's no leaks. So anyway, with no further ado, here's the install process. Hope this helped. Have a great one. Thank you for watching. Okay, we're drilling the pilot holes for this window.
That was that one right there. That's the one I need to stay just a little bit above. That one right there.
You see the light? That's where the bullet holes are. As they look like.
Here.
Here's your pilot holes. All right. what we're going to have to do, because the blade isn't long enough. So we're going to have to draw a line on the outside. This definitely looks like we shot bullet holes in here. We're going to have to draw a line. We're going to draw the line on the outside of these holes, just inside of that template. And that's where we got to tape the daylights out of this thing, double tape. So, just to the bottom of these holes. You can see the turn, and it comes across right there. Nice and easy. Can't get it to zoom. There it is. 2 or 3 layers of tape.
I need a pair of needle nose to pull those out.
Just right on the outside of those holes. This will get taped out to a good square.
Bottom side of this.
It's very important to use a straight edge on this deal. Go right to the bottom of these holes when we draw this line. Very important. Down just a hair. There we go. Trying to get better at my video here. Trying to get a picture from the outside of what we're doing. Okay. It's going to come right here. Damn, I stepped on that top. Very carefully create that window fitting. Straight up. So turn that curve around those holes. This is where a protractor would have been good. Build a square and round it off. Just like so. So we want to use something round
I can get it from there to
gauge those corners.
but I gotta get that up.
You want to do maybe one edge at a time, like round one and then move it down, or is that gonna?
There. That's gotta come around.
Question is, are you inside on that frame?
No, that goes right down around here.
Yeah, I got you. So in this case, you use anything you can to make a round edge.
I think it's flat. Right there's the size I need.
This bottle is going to do the trick, folks.
That's what I need right there, but it's not flat. I need something flat.
So this funnel seem to work best. Gotta be careful on your round and on your corners. Something round that goes outside those holes. It can be freehand, but you still gotta be careful. And somebody needs to be on the inside spotting it so you're not cutting into that frame outside of that template. I got a stepping stool inside, but you can't open the door. That's the problem. All right, it's very important to put a lot of plastic cradle to keep these shavings. However, they're not all gonna get in there. You got some cleaning to do. Best advice from this is to do this from the beginning of the build. All right, now we have two options: a window or sell ice cream and candy out of this window. I think I'm gonna put a window in it. We're not doing that. No turning back on this one. All right, folks, there's your window hole. Now the window we're putting in here is an AMA slider. It's supposed to be a flush slider, but it's close. It's not your C.R. Lawrence that comes out where the acrylic. This is a different acrylic window. We'll show that in a minute. The window is going to cover pretty much all of the out edges of that door. It goes right in the inlet, so you're not going to see any metal around that square inset. And you'll see it when we get that done. Okay, folks, you're going to get some dings on this. It's very important that there's not much you can do about that. The window is going to cover all of that up around the outer edges. Right now, we are putting silicone over the bare metal. It's very important because there's going to be a molding piece that's going to go right over the top of it to cover that exposed metal. If you don't use that piece, you need to put some primer over it to keep it from rusting. It is very important. Yep.
Where's the middle here?
The middle, right there, yeah. All right, we're gonna put there's a joint, like a little gap where those two meet. It's probably best to put on the bottom. When you go all the way around with this and come around. I hope it meets perfectly.
Well, it's gonna be, you're gonna have more than what you need.
We might have more than we need on this, yeah. So we're putting this molding around the edges of this, folks. As you can see. I don't have a gimbal, sorry. Trying to keep this as steady as possible. We have the silicone on there and that molding. That silicone's going to hold it in there. Just like so. Alright, folks, you're going to have more than enough of this. Don't worry about if you're not going to have enough of this trim because you're going to have more than enough. You just line it up with a razor blade, cut it, and where it joins. One important thing you need to know is this. You take something to roll this smooth. We used a screen spline roller, but something that would smooth these down on the edge of the window. This is, make sure you buy one of these windows, you get the kit that has all the adhesive and this in it. And it costs only about 50 bucks from Windows Direct. You can buy these AMA sliders from a lot of people. Windows Direct is where I bought mine from. So, folks, this is your inside of the window right here. And all this outside is going to cover all that metal, all that outside you see. When we put this adhesive in, we got to be careful. We got to be very careful how we put that adhesive so it doesn't come out the edges. It's a good gooping about the center point, and as I said, it's very important when you put this window in, you can't drive your vehicle for about 24 hours. It has to set. So, all right, folks, it's very important once this is in. There it is. Looks almost like a window already. You sell candy bars and ice cream out of this thing. Just kidding. But it's important before and after you get this thing on, you clean the molding and this outside with rubbing alcohol real good. Because you're going to have to put that primer on here. It has to adhere to it, and then the glue is going to adhere to that primer. But you need to get the alcohol on here so you don't anything, no finger oils getting in the center here. Hence is why we wear gloves on this deal. All right, folks, when you are applying this caulk, you better have a damn good caulk gun and some strong hands, because it takes some squeezing to get that stuff out. It took two of us there for a little bit when our hands got fatigued. Just make sure that bead gets to about center, it's thick enough, and maybe a few little dots for even spread. Another thing, folks, it's imperative you tape this window up very well while it sits. You will need this window to sit at least 24 hours. Some may disagree, but you can't be too sure on that deal, so may as well. It's not like your windshield. This thing's hanging off the side of your van. Be extremely careful before you drive. What we're doing, because there's rain possibly coming through, is we're taping up the edges to keep water out for a while. At least keep it offset. It won't run in. It'll keep it where it'll run off for the most part. So that's the window, and it's in, folks. That's an AMA slider. I got it from Van Windows Direct.